Hey, happy football season. Welcome to Football Pod in America.
I'm
Rodney
doing
Harrison,
well,
how you
Mike.
doing?
How are you?
1 week down,
Hey,
16 to
Tony.
go.
I know Tony's got the greatest background going with all this stuff. It's really impressive. But guys, before we get into
Thank
anything
you
else,
very
let's
much.
talk about Florio's background there for a second. That is very Godfather 4-esque background.
I will neither confirm nor deny rumors that I had a Pete Buttigieg fundraiser here.
Hey, no politics. No, we can't do that. We can't do
Wow.
that, right? I'm at the U.S. Open golf, so I am. It's a little bit noisy there. Rodney, I just got to tell you, this golf course might be the hardest golf course I've ever seen. Like I really think a 5 handicap, a good player would come out here and shoot 100. It is so darn hard.
Even harder than Olympia Fields Country Club.
Yes, yeah. Where they had the playoff event a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
If any pro breaks par, it'll be one of the great 4 rounds of all time. Like
Wow.
over par should win the U.S. Open. So
Wow.
that's on
Wow.
NBC and Golf Channel Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then Sunday the golf ends. And we got football nights. We got a fun weekend. Tony, what was now that you've watched a week and let it all digest? What's the thing that stuck out for you as you look back at week 1 of the season?
I think the big thing, the good quarterbacks, the stable quarterbacks have a big advantage, and I think road teams are going to have a better record this year because that advantage that the defensive lines had at home in those domes, New Orleans, Atlanta, Minnesota, probably Seattle this week that we have, you're not going to have that great home field advantage with the noise. So I think that's going to help the visiting teams.
Yeah, Rods, why don't you go then, Florio?
I would say coaching matters. You look at all the teams across all the teams across the league, and a lot of bad teams played. They didn't play very well, but you look at a lot of the well-prepared teams like Kansas City, Baltimore, the New England Patriots, even the Washington football team with Ron Rivera. But coaching still matters in this league.
Yeah, Rodney, some of those teams look like they were playing preseason games. Others look like they were playing
nice
regular
catch,
season
by
games.
the way. Yeah, that's right. By the way, I just want to give Rodney a shout out. That's a nice catch there. You almost said Washington, their old nickname. I did that during the show too. I was like the Washington, and I caught myself. So very good. Job well done. We should set up a fine system if anybody says their nickname first. So, go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was talking about the preseason versus regular season appearance for some of the teams. The idea that you could tell the teams that really weren't ready to play a game that counts because they hadn't played any game at all and they're breaking in new pieces. The one thing that still stands out to me, though, and it's amazing to me it's not getting more run, and maybe this plays into this team's hands, maybe it doesn't. Kyler Murray's a superstar, and Kyler Murray is going to continue the trend of second-year quarterbacks coming in and taking the league by storm. I watched that game between the Cardinals and the 49ers. He has a combination of speed, agility, and awareness that I've never seen in a quarterback before. He gets down the moment he's supposed to get down. He never lets the adrenaline or the competitiveness take over. He steps out of bounds when it's time to step out of bounds. He's always aware of where he is, and no one can put a hand on him. I think he got hit maybe once the entire game. And to see him in the same game with Jimmy Garoppolo, you get a sense there's already a gap between the two guys, and it may only get bigger.
Tony, what else does he have?
He's got DeAndre Hopkins. I'll say it for Coach.
Rodney.
He's got DeAndre Hopkins. How can you not acknowledge that guy?
Thank you, Rodney. That's exactly right. Second, but we were having that conversation about Houston going into that Thursday night game, and it got us looking like DeAndre Hopkins was targeted 10 times a game when he was in Houston, right? He had over 100 catches in the last 2 years. He was targeted 16 times, Rods, in game 1. And don't forget Larry Fitzgerald is still there. I just think they've got something on Mike's point with second year and watching Kyler last year. If they don't have to play from behind all the time, they can play with a lead. I think
Roddy, it's just you and me, bro.
It's just me and you, brother.
I'm hoping Matt's going to clean all this up. That's on him.
Right here.
Mike Tirico, you got frozen for about 23 seconds.
Yeah, I've been frozen out. That's okay. I was just pointing out Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins, and never mind Larry Fitz still has it. I think they can make some noise in a really hard division. Am I crazy?
Absolutely not, Mike, because I've talked about it, and Mike Florio has talked about Arizona, and Chris Sims think we were absolutely crazy because not just the wide receiving core, but you look at the running backs. Kenyon Drake is outstanding with his speed. You look at Chase Edmonds, they have Max Williams, and they have a developing defense. I watch Isaiah Simmons, and he struggled the very first game, but they do have a lot of young foundational pieces with Budda Baker. I like the Arizona Cardinals as a sleeper in this division.
And they held their own defensively. They spotted 10 points to the 49ers and then clamped down. And that's encouraging moving forward to go to San Francisco and beat the 49ers in their own building. I know no fans were there, but still, this is a 13-3 team a year ago. The Cardinals held their own. They get the win. That's got to give them a huge boost going into the next week and beyond.
All right, Rodney, Michael Thomas is hurt with the Saints. They rolled up on his ankle there in the fourth quarter in the running play. And here are the Saints with 2 primetime back-to-back games out at the Raiders as they open their new place in Las Vegas. And then they'll go the Monday night or the Sunday night after that, after the Monday nighter. What will that mean to Brees in that offense if he's out for a few weeks?
Well, I think it gives him first and foremost an opportunity to develop different guys in the passing game. You know, I spoke to Drew Brees last week, and he said he was really excited about Emmanuel Sanders and how he would fit in the offense. He also said he was excited about Traquan Smith, a guy that has been often injured, a guy that's been inconsistent, but he has the talent. And, you know, you think about Jared Cook and how well he played last year. He becomes more of a prominent piece of that offense, but also Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara is an outstanding wide receiver, and he told me if you put number 81 or 82 on Alvin Kamara, he could be a Pro Bowl wide receiver. And this is a guy 3 straight years had over 80 catches. So I expect Alvin Kamara more in the passing game, and I expect these other guys to really step up and make a big difference.
You guys kill me with this developing other people, and hey, it's good. It's going to give everybody opportunities. It's the same thing we had with Houston and DeAndre Hopkins. I want Michael Thomas on my committee. I don't care who else we have. So hopefully they get him back. That offense was very stagnant. That wasn't the New Orleans offense we're used to seeing. So they need Michael Thomas back healthy. And yeah, I agree. These other guys have to get better and step up, but they're going to miss Thomas.
But Coach, it's only week 1. I mean, this is week 2 now, and you're criticizing him. And Drew told me.
I'm not criticizing. They are going to need him.
Oh, of course they're going to need him. But I always said this. I said, what happens if Michael Thomas gets injured, or if a team consciously double teams him and tries to take him away? What else do they have? So I think this is an opportunity for them to develop and just build that confidence amongst each other to see what they can do without Michael Thomas. That's all I'm saying, Mike Florio.
No
Their depth chart at receiver is jarring when you get past Michael Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. Marquez Callaway, undrafted rookie of Tennessee, technically is the backup to Michael Thomas. I don't think we're going to see the ball being thrown to Marquez Callaway like it was thrown to Michael Thomas. You guys are on the money. It's going to be Alvin Kamara in the slot. It's going to be Jared Cook in the slot. Remember, they've got Ty Montgomery, who was originally a receiver in Green Bay before he became a running back. We're going to see him. We're going to see Taysom Hill.
Deontay Harris.
Michael Thomas spent about 25% of the time the last 2 years in the slot, and I think we're going to see a bunch of different guys in that role.
It's going to help the Raiders. The Raiders saw Carolina move the ball up and down on them with Teddy Bridgewater, who looked pretty good, by the way, in that game. And it's going to help the Raiders' defense as they try to open that place. I don't know if it struck you guys when we were watching the Rams game. I felt bad for Stan Kroenke. I feel bad for Mark Davis and the Raiders, and then the Chargers are going to be in their new place. Like, to see these beautiful stadiums and to open them up, that first game, we always talk about the first game in all these new stadiums, to open them up with no fans, it was so hollow. I said at the start of our football night show, I never appreciated NFL fans more than I did this week. The audio's great, the games, I applaud the league and the commitment of the guys, but man, it was missing something. I don't know if Rodney, you felt the same way watching the games on Sunday.
Yeah, and I talked to some players, and they said they felt the same way. They felt like, the fans are a huge part of the game. And most of the young players I talked to, they said, Mike, Rodney, I'm not worried about the fans. I'm just learning the playbook, trying to, do my job. But the veteran players, they feed off the fan support. And, Coach, we won a couple championships back to back. We won 21 games in a row. There's no way we have that level of success. And you guys have the level of success that you had without the encouragement of the fans.
No question, Rodney. You guys beat us twice in the playoffs in Foxborough. We come back in 2006, and we're down 21-3. No way are we coming back and winning that game without those fans in the stands. It just would not happen.
Hey, guys, look at Minnesota, right? You've got a young secondary, all those veterans gone. You need a pass rush in order to slow down Aaron Rodgers. Well, without that extra boost from the crowd, there goes your pass rush on third down, and it makes it easier for Aaron Rodgers to get rid of the ball because his offensive linemen still have that split-second advantage of knowing when the snap's coming, hearing the snap, and getting a start before they have to stop whoever's trying to get the ball.
Mike, let me say this, Mike. When you don't have Danielle Hunter, you don't have Everson Griffin. That's the difference. It's the level of talent. To me, the fans had nothing to do with that pass rush. Those are young guys. They're getting their opportunity to shine against a team that is going to pass the ball 30, 40 times in a game, and they didn't step up. They didn't make the plays, but they had their opportunity. So I don't think it had anything to do with the fans.
I have to disagree a little bit there, Rodney. Yes, we missed those guys. No question. Talent is an issue. But still, we're used to seeing Aaron Rodgers go into Minnesota. We're used to seeing those tackles trying to lean in and hear the play in the huddle. We're used to that silent count. It's always going on one, and those defensive linemen teeing off. Now we saw Aaron Rodgers using hard count, going on 2, going on 3, keeping that defensive line off balance in Minnesota. That there's a little difference there. 44 dropbacks, not one sack in 44. That was a part of it.
Hey, Mike Florio, just curious, are you starting to hear that more teams might have at least some people starting to come in the stadiums here as we go through the end of September and into October?
Well, I mean, at least for now, we're moving towards several teams that didn't have home games last week with fans present. The Colts are going to have 2,500 for their home opener. The Cowboys still haven't said how many they're going to have. In Texas, by law, you can have up to 50% capacity, and that's one of the biggest stadiums. But the Cowboys haven't said how many tickets are going to sell. But, I'd like to think if the health situation is conducive to it, if people are comfortable, that we could move toward having more fans there. It really is a jarring juxtaposition to see the shot of the field and it looks normal, and then the shot of the stands and it's like, what the hell's going on? And then the shot of the field, it looks normal again, and I don't know how long people get used to that.
Hey, Tony, tell the guys what it was like at Notre Dame, because there were only 10,000 fans and the band was there. But it felt like there was a really significant atmosphere relative to the other games that we saw during the weekend.
It was, Mike, and maybe it's because we were there live and in the stadium, but those fans did a great job. They were into the game. The band obviously makes a huge difference, and they were there, but it felt like a game atmosphere as opposed to some of the games that we were listening to and watching where you said, gosh, we really miss them. I thought those Notre Dame fans did an excellent job.
Hey, Mike, the one thing I noticed too, Mike Tirico, one of the things I noticed too when you guys were doing the game, that all the fans, most of the fans were socially distant and they had their mask on. So if you're going to come to the game and enjoy the game, just keep your mask on and try to get away from everyone.
Hey, Thursday night, guys, the Chiefs crowd on Thursday night was loud with only 16,000 people there.
Yes,
I don't think it's going to take that many to create a true natural sound that's going to sound like a normal game.
Yeah, no, I was just going to add, I thought it was funny, Bill Belichick's press conferences after the game are priceless. And the reporter asked a really good question. It was a big wind-up to, no fans in the stands, coach, and everything else. And was there anything that you ever experienced like this in your years here? Practice. It was like Bill Belichick met Allen Iverson for like a second. Practice. So somebody who's really sharp in video is going to put together Bill Belichick and Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
It's going to be really funny. All right, last one, guys. Let's hit the Sunday night game. And Belichick and the Patriots against Seattle. Rodney, for all the years that you were a part of the Patriots and saw the Patriots, their offense looked a certain way. And it was so weird to see the offense look very different, but it was really normal because it was Cam Newton, New England's uniforms doing this stuff. So now take what you saw last week and tell me what you think it's going to be like against Seattle or Sunday.
You talking about offensively, Mike? Coach, is he talking offensively? Because I could barely hear him. Well, offensively, I think I said it on Sunday night that I thought Josh McDaniels, offense coordinator, did a great job of just keeping things simple, allowing Cam Newton to play, and Cam felt a certain comfort level. He went to the line of scrimmage. If there was two safeties deep, he would call a run. And if they loaded the box, he would do the RPOs. He would, the majority of the passes that he hit, they were inside routes. So I just felt like Cam, he just looked so comfortable in the offense. They kept it simple. He didn't have to make a lot of adjustments. But, Coach, you always talk about it, whether it's offense or defense. Coach Belichick's going to have a couple adjustments. I expect him to come out with maybe something different, maybe like an empty set, maybe hurry up offense, spread the ball around, maybe to come out the first 5 or 6 plays of the game and pass the ball, around. But the most important thing, and I tell you this, Coach Belichick stood in front of that team and they said, we have to block Jamal Adams. We cannot let him ruin the game. That's their number one priority.
And on the other side, I'm really anxious to see because Russell Wilson was fantastic. 31 out of 35, lit it up. Well, we know, and the Seattle coaches know, that Bill Belichick is going to come in and try to take away what you do best. So the strength being the secondary. Is it going to be nickel defenses, dime defenses maybe? Take that passing game away. Will Seattle, if they do that, will they be content to say, hey, we've got to run the football if they play a little small group against them? So that chess match is going to be really, really interesting. I know Mike Florio is all about let Russ cook, but if Belichick decides I'm going to take that meal away, they may have to go back to the running game in the old Seattle formula.
Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry, Mike. Let me just jump off this real quick. I went back and I watched the 2016 game, Seattle. It was a Sunday night football game. I think it was week 10. Yeah. And you watch what Coach Belichick did. And Russell Wilson didn't have a lot of success scrambling. I think he only had like 6 yards scrambling, but he tore him up over 300 yards. I think he had three or four touchdowns. But the Patriots, on early downs, they played a lot of zone. On third down, they played a lot of man-to-man. Now, the talent level is different because they're a lot better in the secondary, but I expect them to play a lot of man-to-man. I expect a lot of 4 and 5 man pressures. The biggest thing that he's saying is we have to eliminate the big play, and we have to be able to stop the run. And they're going to get up. They're going to challenge. I look for Stephon Gilmore to take on DK Metcalf, and I look for J.C. Jackson to get in the face of Tyler Lockett.
On the offensive side of the ball for the Patriots, Bill Belichick downplayed the number of runs for Cam Newton on Sunday. He had 15, and Belichick created the impression, they were all out of an option look, and they weren't. I went back to watch that. 7 of the runs were designed runs. 6 were on option plays. There were 13 total option looks. He scrambled once and he took a knee. So there's a lot of designed runs. And what I was encouraged by, he only was really in harm's way twice. There was a 3rd and 6 down near the goal line when they were trying to score their last touchdown, and then a 4th and goal. Those are the 2 plays where you get a little nervous about Cam getting injured. The rest of the time, he was clean. He was not taking hits, and he was moving that offense. It was methodical, but it worked, and I think we're going to see a lot more of it this week.
I'm so glad you brought that up, Mike, because if we think about Cam and the MVP guys and where he was in his skill set, the biggest thing is sustainability. Can you sustain this offense and doing that stuff with Cam an entire season?
Not with the weapons they have. No. Not with the weapons they have.
No? You don't think so?
That's why I think it's very important that they need to go out and they need to make some type of trade, whether it's Allen Robinson from the Bears, whether it's Odell Beckham Jr. They need someone, because if you go get an Odell Beckham, then Odell's been dying to try to get to the Patriots. He's good friends with Cam Newton. I think this is going to really open up the offense, allow N'Keal Harry to develop and take some pressure off of Julian Edelman. But you need that number 1 receiver, which they don't have. And then you put pressure on the Buffalo Bills to look and say, because right now Buffalo's sitting at home saying, I'm not worried about the Patriots. We take away, Cam Newton, they have nobody else. And you get a guy like Odell, he really opens up the offense and he makes everyone else better. Florio.
Wow.
Hey,
I like it.
listen,
I like it.
I watched.
I like it. You're wheeling and dealing. I love it.
I watched the Browns-Ravens game last night, and it only reinforced my belief that they need to trade Odell Beckham Jr. He does not fit with that offense. He doesn't fit with that team. He's not happy. His body language, his demeanor. He had a horrible drop. The game was still in a position where Cleveland can make it interesting, down 17-6 driving. 3rd and 2, he's running with the ball before he catches it. He drops it. They missed the field goal. That was the end of the game. He had one play where the ball's up in the air. He did a little half alligator arm thing. I just think he's not into it there. He's not getting the ball the way he wants it. He's never been happy about being in Cleveland. That's the way it seemed. And Rodney, you're right. Remember last year they were getting ready to play the Patriots. That's all he talked about all week is the Patriots. He wants to be in New England, and now that Cam's there instead of Tom Brady, he may want to be there even more strongly.
Coach?
No, you guys kill me. When it's Houston, we don't need a number 1 receiver. Let DeAndre go.
I didn't say that.
Committee. Now you got
you.
the Patriots with a committee. You want a number 1 receiver. Make up your mind.
Coach. Hold on, Mike. Hold on, Florio. Coach, I never said that. I was relaying the message that Tyrann Mathieu told me. I never said I agreed with him.
It was just Chris Sims. Okay.
It was just Chris Sims.
I got you.
Let me say this about the Browns.
Hey,
the Browns have all these weapons, all these
good.
The Browns have all these guys they're spending big money on. Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham Jr., Austin Hooper. I feel like they put pressure on themselves to force the passing game. If they just would have run, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, they may have won that game. They had the running game going, and they kept going away from it because we had to justify all these weapons that we paid a lot of money for.
Coaching matters.
Coaching matters. That's the best thing you said today, and you're so right. Coaching is going to be the difference in the first part of this season, no question in my mind.
Yes. And just you all remember when DeAndre Hopkins wins the MVP with 160 catches, Mike and Tony, we were on this first. Rodney, I got you a gift from Wingfoot. Got you a golf ball.
Oh, nice.
And bring it back to you.
Get Dustin.
Your kind of golf ball.
Hey, let me see if you got any real pub. Okay, go get Dustin Johnson to sign it for me.
You want a Dustin Johnson autographed golf ball?
Yep. If you can do that, you're the man, Mike.
I will work on that. I may go up to him right in the middle of his first round and say, Rodney Harrison, can you sign a golf ball for him? But I will work on that.
I know my boy Dan Patrick can do it.
Hey, he probably can. He probably would. But you're stuck with me now. I'm not going to do it for you. You should have asked for a Xander Schauffele because he's the one who's going to win the U.S. Open.
Okay.
I'll tell you that.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, I'll throw out a prediction. Wait, did you guys all pick the Cowboys?
Not all of us, Mike. Not all of us.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, okay.
But for a ridiculous offensive pass interference call, I'd have been right.
Oh my gosh! All right,
take care, guys.
Talk to you on Sunday.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.